I don't need to tell you how tough things are in the Philippines. It's been difficult to watch, and at various times it's just so saddening and tragic. And then you hear good stories of companies and countries and humanity springing to life and putting together help. It's pretty far away from us, but we have in the room with us this morning a person who was in the Philippines when the typhoon hit, who did live through it. One of the strongest storms in recorded history. In fact, it's the strongest storm of record that has ever hit land. So if one has hit land like that, it's just there were no meteorologists keeping track of it. Greg Anderson from Seattle was enjoying what had been a calm oceanfront villa vacation in the Philippines. Greg is in the studio with us this morning. Hi, Greg. How are you?
Really happy to be here.
Man.
I bet you are.
Yeah, sorry for the scratchy voice.
That's okay. So, may I ask a little about you? And that's a pretty far away vacation. What made you choose the Philippines, and what do you do?
Well, I'm a mortgage broker for Cobalt Mortgage in Kirkland, and I haven't been on a 2-week vacation ever. It's probably been 20 years,
So, and have you traveled the globe a lot?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've been all over the place.
So you're adventurous to begin with.
Yeah, I've been to Europe a bunch and South America. In fact, I was talking to Liciana, and she's from Argentina.
Yeah.
And I was in Argentina about 10 years ago.
Look at you. All right, good for you.
Yeah.
Getting out of the a lot of people don't travel that far. And when you choose a destination, there has to be something about it where you say, of all the places you can go in the world, I want to go to the Philippines. What was it?
I have family and friends that live there. They lived in Bohol that just got the big earthquake. So poor little country of Philippines has really had devastation here lately. But they've been trying to get me to go to the Philippines for years.
Okay.
And so I finally had a chance. And
you took it.
I took it. Yeah, I've been planning this for about 4 months. Yeah. And so we had just a beautiful place. I don't know if you're able to pull it up on the internet or not, but just paradise. I mean, we had a 5-bedroom villa right on the ocean. And it was, we had a coral reef right out front.
Oh.
Had a coral reef right out front.
There's no coral reef left.
No, it got destroyed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So anyway, you get there. You've got some family members. This is, a vacation of a lifetime, half a world away. You're probably not watching the weather forecast, I'm guessing, when you're on vacation, right?
Technically not, but, you got to keep an eye on stuff there because they just get hit all the time. And things happen so fast. I didn't hear of any major storm fronts until I was in Tacloban City. And that was the day before the storm.
Day before the storm,
right.
Someone tell now. Do you meet a lot? Do people tell you in English, or do you hear?
Yeah, surprisingly, almost everybody
tourist places mostly speak English.
Yeah, especially in the Philippines because it's a secondary language. But
so they said we're battening down for a storm.
Yeah, and so
what did you say? Like, there's no water or anything left in the store. How come? Well, everyone's buying everything to get out of town.
They didn't do that.
Really?
No. They're so used to these things that that panic at that particular point they didn't. That wasn't going on. And
so they get hit by storms a lot. We don't hear about it.
No, nothing of this magnitude. And I went down. I was staying in a hotel in Tacloban City, and the concierge lady told me that we had a storm coming. And I said, "How strong?" And she said, "Well, it's just been upgraded to a super." And I was like, "Oh God, this isn't good."
and you go back, bragging to everybody on Facebook. I'm oceanfront, baby.
Yeah.
Look at this, suckers. Enjoy the weather in Seattle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh man,
ironic. And then at that time, it was make a decision and live with it. And it was the city of Tacloban it's just shacks. They have some nice infrastructure, but it's not put together very well.
So you decided to stay.
I decided to get out of that town.
Oh, you got out of the town?
Yeah, to go to my
villa.
You
did not stay in your... Oh, you decided to go to your villa?
Correct.
Wow.
Because it was much better infrastructure.
So it's a strong building.
Yeah.
And yet, if you had it to do all over again, you now know this is the strongest storm ever to hit land, and here you are at the water.
Right. And so I was in Tacloban City, and I heard that the storm was coming, and I knew I had to get out of there because I would have died.
You think you would have died?
Oh yeah. When I left, the death toll was at 11,000 in Tacloban. Yeah, and rising, and that's just the body bags that they had filled.
Right.
And how far were you from Tacloban when you decided to go to the villa?
I was 5.5 hours away.
Oh, so that's quite a ways away.
Right. And I knew we had to go. That was part of the whole trip. Was to get a car or a four wheel and get to the town of Giwan, and then from Giwan, my place was another hour to the peninsula, so it was very remote.
So you had already been to your place?
No.
So you were on your way to your place, and you had to make the decision to keep going to your waterfront place.
Right.
Even though you knew the biggest storm of all time was headed for your place.
Didn't know it was the biggest. You
didn't know that?
No. I thought it was going to be a...
What kind of cable package did you have?
We knew about it.
Yeah, I know you guys
Yeah,
did.
no. And by the way, when I first heard it, I saw the thing on a graphic, which I'm sure you've looked back and seen some coverage now, and I thought, oh, this is going to be really bad. There's nothing. I've never seen anything like this.
1,000 miles across.
Yeah. So you knowingly headed for the shoreline because you knew the infrastructure of the city and the buildings and the shacks were no place to be anywhere around, and yet you knew you were about to see devastation. How do you feel?
It just you don't have time to really think about it.
You just have to.
You just got to
take
do
care
it.
of yourself,
Stick
yeah.
with it. Yeah, stick with the decision. I knew I knew the house that Bob King built, and he's the owner of it, and he lives in the UK. It was really nice. I mean, it's all concrete. He's an engineer.
Right.
So
You figure you had the best chance there.
Exactly. And that was the decision. I had talked to my buddy, and we were, going via text, and he's already there. He'd been there for 2 days. And I said, Chad, how's the house? And he goes, it's stout. And I went, okay, because I'm not staying in Tacloban. He's like, get here. And I go, I know.
Okay.
So I got
you get there.
I got there.
Was it already windy by the time you got there?
No, it was beautiful.
It's just spectacular.
It was beautiful, yeah. It
Calm
was
before the
completely.
proverbial storm.
Yeah, and I texted my family, friends that lived in Manila, and I said, it's the calm before the storm. It's absolutely beautiful. As soon as it's over, I'll get in touch.
All right. And so you batten down the hatches. The storm picks up. What went through your mind? Was it Wizard of Oz like? What was the like at the peak of the wind? How long did the peak last, and what was it like?
You couldn't have hit it any better there. Wizard of Oz times 10. There's an Australian surf camp that we were supposed to go to, and we'd been keeping in touch with these guys because he's just in tune with the weather. And he told us that the storm was going to hit at 4 a.m., and it was going to come in from the west, and then it was going to take a U-turn in Leyte Gulf, and then hit us again. And it was going to be from 4 a.m. to about 2 p.m.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's 10 hours.
Right. Yeah. At 200 miles an hour winds, yeah. So at 4 a.m. on the dot, this thing hit, and this rip of lightning.
And it hits pretty suddenly. It
just
isn't a gradual build.
No.
It's like, woof.
Yeah, it was, we had probably 60, 70 mile an hour winds and rain, and, which is not that big of a deal, down there. And at 4 a.m. on the dot, man, this rip of lightning came down, and the sound was heinous. And I was like, it's here. And immediately
where do you go in the house?
I was upstairs in the west room, and it's a big house. It's 5 bedrooms. And immediately my bathroom roof got ripped off.
Roof off the house.
Gone. Like within 20 seconds. And I came out
on a brand new, beautiful
house. Yeah, and this
built
thing,
to code.
Correct. Well,
Yeah.
better than code.
Yeah,
I mean,
code in the Philippines is the shacks that got demolished.
Yeah.
Right. And
Code here.
This guy had, it was stout.
So you need to go downstairs.
Yeah, I got out of there, and my friend, he's across the hall on the other side of the house, and he's up there yelling, "Hey, Greg, it's time to get down." And I'm like, "I'm already down, buddy." I was down in the lobby, and down the front part of the house, and he comes down, and then his room just got destroyed. It ripped the roof off, ripped the walls off.
Of upstairs.
And we immediately lost the roof of the house.
The whole roof of the house.
The whole house got ripped. Gone.
Brand new construction.
Yeah, gone, ripped off. And the ripping of...
Now, at this point, are you second-guessing yourself? Are you like, whoa, why did I come out here?
No,
you knew it was the best place.
Yeah, I knew it was the best place. Yeah, and it was just life, making good decisions to keep alive. So we got underneath the counter in the kitchen, and that's when the big winds started coming up. I found out later, I felt it. I was telling Chad,
that wasn't even the biggest wind.
No, not yet. And I told Chad, these winds are above 200, bud. And he's like, no way. And I go, yeah, this is above 200 miles an hour.
You were thinking that without the help of cable news. At that
Exactly.
point. Wow.
Cable was out at that moment.
How do you?
Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine